Yeah, another one of those. Jesus. Right, everybody, all my followers, be welcome to another video. Right, first of all, I'm a little bit tired. I just left nights this morning and a few hours sleep. I was to come to do this in the morning, straight after work. I was not even to go to bed, but I will explain you why I haven't done it. And you know, in a second, but yeah, so today is, what's today is, I can't remember now, 22nd of June 22. It's about 4 o'clock, just past 4 o'clock, quarter past 4. And right, as you've seen, we are on this Vauxhall Combo 2006 with the 1.7 CDTI engine. Now, I'm not going to take you through the whole shebang with this, but I was asked to look at this car about, oh Jesus, just before I moved house. So that must have been about 8 months ago. Because this is an own runner, and obviously you guys know I've been busy, etc. I never had a chance until now. Obviously the guy was free to go elsewhere, which I actually think he has been somewhere else. But basically, because at the time I was asked to program a new ECU to this. Apparently this was bought at auction, and the ECU had some broken pins or something along those lines. Even the guy is not 100% sure. It took it somewhere. They got another ECU. At least I think it took it somewhere, because the original ECU from the car is missing. There is a replacement ECU which I will show you in a second. And the reason why I think, now I'm going to tell you why I think someone's been messing around with this, is because the ECU is timed. So the security waiting time is at the moment in 1 hour and 20 minutes, which means the pin has been inserted a few times wrong. At least 5 times maybe, I think. Because I think it goes 10 seconds, I think, then it goes 10 minutes, then it goes 20, 40, then 120, something along those lines, 1 hour and 20. So it's now on 1 hour and 20 minutes. Anyway, so what have I done? So I've been here before my night shifts. I just came to have a look, completely blind. I obviously, everything I'm telling you now is stuff that I've been learning a little bit from the owner on the day I came. He was here, he's not here today. And I've learned why at home, which I will take you through as well. So so what I've done is, as I've walked on the car, obviously the first thing I've done was retrieve the pin from the car itself. I did it through the instrument cluster, nice and easy. Opcom can do it. At the time I just plugged in the maxi sys. It took me 5 seconds to get the pin code. So once I had the pin code, I went to the engine ECU. I never attempt to put any pin codes, because the guy said to me that was the replacement ECU, and there's never been, and I don't know, he said the car wouldn't start. He said the car came from elsewhere, so I can only imagine they've been trying and trying. And the reason why I'm saying that is because this. So first of all, I think whoever's been working on this didn't go just ECU, he got a body control module. This body control module is the replacement. I know, because on the day I plugged it in, and obviously I get different codes, plus the VIN number on this is wrong. There is a immobilizer transponder thingy. Okay. Again, this is the wrong one. The original one from the car is already fitted. And then the interesting thing is I have this, and this is the possible pins. I hope this is not the opposite way on the phone. If it is, I'll have to inverse the image. I will do that, no worries. But this is 3 possible pins. He says not that it was included the pin is possible, and then it says 15, 18, 25, 13, 51, 42. Now, I know now that these codes are all wrong, although I never tried them. Because I didn't want to time the ECU even more. Now, I do know there is some tools, and guys, I know there is some tools that can do this on the bench without opening the ECU. I think IO terminal can do it, can actually read the pin code, can reset the waiting time, and all that good stuff. Unfortunately, I don't have IO terminal. Neither I do have any other tool that is actually capable of doing anything in regards to that. So yeah, I'm a little bit stuck at the moment, but I got somewhere. So what I've done at the time was I said, look, I can't do nothing here. I need to find out the pin code from this ECU first. So I will take it home and I'll see what I can do. First time for me working on one of these DC30s. So it's a Denso ECU DC30. The engine code on this is the Z17DTH. So I got the ECU on and I've opened the back of it, and as you can see, I'm going to put some pictures here. If you guys follow me on Patreon, actually you've seen the post I've done. But basically what I've done at the time, this was like a year ago, whenever this video is going to come up, but what I've done at the time is I've opened the ECU, I've removed the jelly thing around the EEPROM. I was actually keen to just remove the EEPROM. Unfortunately, the EEPROM is glued to that ceramic PCB with some sort of resin, black resin, something like that. So when I actually tried to remove it, usually when EEPROMs like that are glued on those normal green PCBs, I just press something underneath. With the heat, you just force it and it comes out okay. In this case, because it's ceramic, it's very fragile, I did not want to do that. So what I've decided to do was to read it in circuit. As you can see, I've just soldered 8 thin wires to it and connected to EEPROM, and I got the data and I got the pin code straight away. As you can see, and that is the old pin code 0331. I hope I'm reading the pin in the correct place. I think is on address 050. I really hope it is. And I believe, depending on the ECU model you have on these Densos, the pin might be in that position, or it might be on the first 2 bytes, I think. But it is on the same line right at the beginning. So yeah, I think it's 0331. So I got the pin code of the ECU, and now another thing that I've done, guys, because I thought I could do it, it didn't work for me. Now it might be that it will work for some of you, depending maybe on the ECU software or something like that. What I've done on that day as well is, as I said on the Patreon post, I left the ECU on for, so that was before my nights, so I did 12 hours. So I left the ECU powered on for 12 hours, or just over 12 hours, to see if the running time would go out. And when I tried to reset the ECU again, it wouldn't work. It would say, what did it say? Just say failed. No, it just said ECU, yeah, security waiting time active. Yeah, it said the same thing, even though I had the ECU powered on for over 12 hours. Now, 2 things regards to that. One, if you look on the timing, on the security waiting time, which is right there, on that area there, what happens is, even if the ECU is timing out okay, that will not change. So like right now, for example, I'm trying to reset the ECU, and the security waiting time is active. But if I turn off the ECU, so let's say I have now the ignition on for 20 minutes now, so it's about an hour left. For about 20 minutes. If I get out of the ECU and go back in, it's not going to show me an hour left. It's going to show me 1 hour and 20 minutes. But I believe if I cycle the ignition, the timer will just start again. You need to really have the ECU on without cycling the ignition for all that length of time. But another thing is as well, even if you are logged in, like I am now, I'm on the ECU menu. I'm just trying to reset the ECU. Even if I come out and I go back on live data, even after 20 minutes, it will still show 1 hour and 20 minutes. That timer will not come down. All you need to do is track the time once the time is passed, you just put the security code, the correct one obviously, if it's correct. If the timing has passed, the ECU will take it and then will reset that timer. So that timer is not a live countdown, if that makes sense. That's number one. Number two, depends on which Opcom version you have. I'm using Opcom, but it depends on the version you have. The reset, let me try to show you. The reset timer in there, this reset ECU in there function, on the engine ECU menu, on the programming menu, might not show, okay, depending on the ECU version, on the software version you have. I have 3 installed on this laptop, and at least one of them doesn't have this function on this menu. Only has this, I think it only has this program, variant and CAN, replace injectors and VIN identification. I think it doesn't have none of the other ones. So yeah, the patient. So but when I tried at home after the 12 hours or over 12 hours with the ECU powered on a bench, when I've tried to do it, it actually failed. And I think I know why it failed, because obviously on this menu here, right there, as you can see, it says no and no, but once it's plugged in on a car, is actually okay. So I think what the ECU needs to see, it needs to see all the other, it needs to have communication with the other modules in order for the timing, for the timer to start to count down. So that's what I think it is. So at the moment, that's what I'm doing. I just want to reset this ECU. I'm going to show you the ECU on the front of the car. So it's plugged in like that, and I still have, let me see if I can show you this without breaking anything. Okay, so I still have the wires attached, because what I want to do, guys, is I want to reset this ECU, and as soon as the ECU resets, okay, what I'm going to do is I'm going to pack up everything. I'm going to go back home. I'm going to read that EEPROM again once it's resetted, so no pin code, so like a virgin dump, and I'm going to keep it for me. First time I'm working on this ECU, DC30, but you never know in the future if I need it again. At least I don't need to go through all this waiting time, etc. Once I have a blank EEPROM file, not blank, a reset EEPROM file, then just a matter of loading on the next ECU and off you go. If I don't get any tools up to then, up to there that can do this through just on the bench, key line straight into the ECU plugs. So at the moment, guys, is a waiting game. I'm just gonna here waiting and waiting. Audio at the moment, I put the right pin code is 0331, as I said, and it tells me this. Now I do hope that I don't need to come back. So I never done it like this on a waiting time, so I really hope that once the time is passed, this will just goes to the next step. We'll just carry on, but I'll wait. If it doesn't go, then I'll have to come out from this menu, just go back and press reset ECU again and try it again. Yeah, obviously you cannot reset this through the immobilizer function, or immobilizer function. I can't reset this on the immobilizer function, because when you go to log in into the immobilizer function, where then you have a option to reset the ECU, you need to insert the correct pin for the immobilizer system, which in this case is the correct pin for the car. And if I put that pin code and then I try to go for it, obviously the ECU is going to reject the code and it's going to time again, blah blah blah. So you need to do this through the actually engine ECU menu, and again, not all the Opcom versions do have that function in there. Okay, so I think it's nearly half an hour past now. We're gonna carry on waiting, and I guess I will see you in a bit when it resets, I guess. I was not to record this, so it's a little bit of I'm not taking you through every single bit and bob, but I'm hoping to take you enough through for you to see what we do. That's it, so stay on that side and I will carry on in a minute. So I actually had to come off because it would not, so it would just carry on saying please wait, and then we're saying security time, waiting time, blah blah blah. But I knew by looking at the clock that the timing would have passed, so I came out. I just put back went to reset ECU again, and boom, he reset it straight away. Now, for you guys that might be on that side asking why you didn't press that button there, because if I press this button, nothing happens, at least on my software. Now, I know I've reset the ECU, so most likely won't retrieve nothing, but I've tried it before. So it's one function there, security code, which I believe is to retrieve the security code straight from the engine ECU. It wouldn't work on this software version, or even on my other software version. So at the moment the ECU has been reset, okay, as you have seen. So yeah, so I just did it again, reset, completely successful. Just gonna press back and back. I think my fault codes will just still the same. Yeah, so it says the same fault code. And now I don't know if the security time has now passed, has been reset as well or not. Let me have a look. Yeah, there we go. So security waiting time, now it says inactive. So we are now ready to program this ECU, but not before, as I said already, not before I drive home and do a copy of that, seal the ECU, etc, etc. But no worries, I will take you through all of that. Okay, here we are back home. ECU is connected back to EEPROM. So we are going to quickly, as I said before, we're gonna quickly read this ECU again, okay, just for me to get, I didn't have to do that, so once from the last clip I could just go and program the ECU, but as I said, I want to have a backup out of this. That's why I took the ECU with everything plugged in. So 93, yeah, so that's is from the last time I've used this. So let's go into read this again. It's a little bit off clear, I do apologize. Let's go to read this. There it is. So let's gonna save this as my reset file. So if I ever come across this issue again, I can just load this file and that's it. Even if there is a ECU that's, for example, timed out for 22 hours or 24, which I think is the maximum, I don't need to be waiting all that time. I can just load this file as far as from the same hardware version, etc. Just keep some backups, that's all. But yeah, we're gonna do it, and then we are going to remove all of this, seal the ECU, cover the chip again. I don't have this sort of jelly thing, but I do have some clear sealant, sort of silicone. So we're just gonna cover the chip, and that's about it. But then we're gonna have to go back and just carry on with this. Okay, guys, and just before we move on, I just thought it would be interesting to show you what changed on the two files. So the file at the top is the original file. The file at the bottom, this one here, is the one that's been reset. Either way, we'll show you the difference bytes on both files. So that's the only areas that have been changed. And as you can see, that's the top area there, that's the bottom. Okay, so now yes, I'm ready to remove all of this, close the ECU, and try to get this done today. Okay, and here we are, ready to go. Okay guys, so we are back in here. It's nearly 7 o'clock in the afternoon. The battery is plugged in, ECU is in place, you might be able to see it. Ignition is on, obviously we have the spanner light flashing. Let's just make sure we still have communications with the engine ECU and we didn't effed up anything. So there we go. So DEC30, that's the Denso 30 ECU, Z710. So yes, we do. So fault codes, just one fault code, I hope. So there we go, same fault code as before. Let's just do my measuring blocks. Just double check that we have everything as it was before. So there we go. So timer, security time inactive, immobilizer function programmed no, and then everything else is okay. So 90% sure what the guys have been doing with this, but oh well. Anyway, let's gonna close these now, and now to program this we should go to chassis, body, immobilizer. Now remember, this ECU, the engine ECU is reset, and therefore there is no really pin codes attributed to it. It still has a pin code, but it will accept a different pin code now. So if you go to programming, and now at this point we need to put the pin of the car itself, which I'm gonna do. And once you put it in, you're gonna get all these functions back. So we're gonna tell them that the engine controller has been installed. That's the only thing. Yeah, successfully programmed. Okay, now it should be it really. Now we should just go back, close this, come back. Now we're gonna turn ignition off. We're gonna wait a few seconds. Okay, a few seconds later, we turn the ignition back on. Still have my light blinking. That's strange now. It shouldn't be blinking. Ah, damn it. So the immobilizer is okay, but now we have the okay, and after reset and program the body control module, as you can see, the code is not present anymore. So now we only have to do the same to the instrument cluster. Okay, and after the cluster reset and programmed again, that is now present, and my spinner light stopped flashing, which means, guys, we should be able to crank this thing. So let's clear fault codes, no DTCs. Let's go back. I'm just going to go through the main modules, make sure we don't have nothing. As I said, guys, as well, let me take you through this. I have already, as I said, as I showed you previous on the video with some pictures, I need to program the injectors as well. I haven't done that yet, but what I want to say is the variant configuration is already been programmed. I've done that already, so there's no air conditioning, as you can see. So I've done all of that, and I've done also including the VIN number. So I already programmed the VIN number. Okay, so that's all done. I have pictures of the injectors codes, which I took before I put the ECU back on. It wouldn't make a difference, but I took the plugs and I took pictures, like as you can see here. Okay, so I'm going to quickly program the injectors before we attempt to start this. And yeah, once the code's cleared as well, the spinner light is off, as you can see, so it should be ready to crank, but I want to do the injector codes first. Okay, and after the last cylinder programmed, number 4, we have all the new codes. Shall I do a replace fuel pump as well? What does this? Do you really want to reset the learned value fuel pumps? Yeah. I don't know if this needs to be, it needs to be run idle. Okay, so we'll do this when we manage to start this thing. Let's just see if we have any fault codes. Still no DTCs present. That's brilliant. So now I'm just going to go very quickly, delete any other codes on other modules, and then we're going to try to crank this thing. Okay guys, codes cleared, and I'm ready to give it a go. Let's gonna cycle this key. Now remember that this thing hasn't started for at least 8 months. Dear me. It's running. Look at that. Right, let me disconnect my charger, and I'll show the engine running, etc. Okay, there we go. The engine light is coming on every now and then. I did check the engine oil level. It was at the minimum, but I thought to get it running will be enough. There is a whining noise coming from it, sort of a weird noise. Sort of, I don't know if it's the alternator or something along those lines. There is steering pump, which is good. So I'm going to quick give you a scan. The engine light is not on, so we'll just quickly check if there's any codes coming back. Even if there is, that won't be my problem. So let me just have a look. What's going on? Interface not found. What the heck? Plug it back in. This is strange. There we go. Fault codes. Okay, so there is not showing any DTCs. The light kind of comes on and off. I don't want to run it for too long. I just want to go to some measuring blocks. So is battery voltage, so it's giving 14 volts, so it is charging. I haven't touched the accelerator yet, so yeah, so there's nothing here. It's just the live data, really. Well, I was only asked to get it running, so it is running, that's all. Yeah, there's no AC on this. I think I might do the thingy, the fuel pump thing. Yes, I do. Not really sure what that's supposed to do, guys. I'm not gonna lie. Never had to do such procedure. I just did it. Let me see if okay, yeah, it revs okay. Yeah, it revs fine. So I don't want to be here. Oh, there we go. The engine light, the oil is coming on. Probably just a little bit too low. Let's gonna turn this thing off. And well, I'm not sure what that does. Probably it's not even for this engine. I'm not 100% sure. Anyway, guys, it is starting. It's gonna go back, exit. There we go. Okay, so let's start this thing once more. Beautiful, absolutely beautiful. So guys, in the end, was actually a quick job if we had the pin code, or it would have been even quicker if I would have a tool that could read maybe the pin code through the OBD port, or on the bench I wouldn't have to be soldering those wires. But I think the main thing here is you need to have a plan B, which that was the plan we went for. So the engine is running, and with no further ado, I think I'm going to wrap up this video. So let's go now, and guys, with no further ado, I hope you enjoyed the video. Hope there's something here that you can find useful. Maybe you learned something. If you do still have any questions, any comments, you know how it works, guys, put them below. And like always, thanks for watching.